Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Mana. This is our daily Mana. I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin first so you understand kind of what's going on here, because I think we all felt the pain or the pinch, whatever you want to call it, from yesterday. But I just like to kind of get a quick little peek here and kind of see what's going on. So quickly to note here, Bitcoin is below both moving averages, not great. Ultimately, we're probably going to see some consolidation for the next week. That's my speculation. We also may see 58,000 tested as a secondary support here, which was almost tested yesterday. And I think that 60,000 will potentially hold for a little while, but not much longer. I think it's kind of just slowing the bleeding for the moment, but we will probably see, I would say, another leg down. I think it's less likely for the price to just to ramp back up. Remember, the harder something falls, the harder it is to get back up, right? And coins do the same thing exactly. If it falls 10% one day, you cannot expect a 20% the day after on the opposite direction. At best, it'll slowly increase from there on out. It's rare for the price to recover that quick. In this case, it's going to take a little while, but when it does, it will do well. Also, I have this secondary support level here, which was a previous high, basically a one-day candlestick close at 52,700. So 52.7 roughly is where the next major support level is at. Another thing to confirm as well, so you understand kind of, is the GAN fan here as well. We can kind of see that if we do lose this support level here at 58,000, the price doesn't continue to progress back upwards, then we're going to be in this lower quadrant effectively, and we could potentially see the price trickle back down here to, again, that support level. That's where 52,000 / 53,000 is going to be pivotal and important, because we have this lower line here from GAN, and it's really important support level. So again, we hope we don't drop into the sub 60,000 level, but if we do, and hate to say I told you so, right? So that's kind of where we're at there. And also too, let's go ahead and look at Mana. Before we do, obviously, I'd just like to let you know, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor by any means, but I've been trading for about 15 years, and my goal is to help you become a better trader. I love teaching and helping people become just better financially, and this is one of the best mediums to be able to do that. That's why I have a trading community / signal group. I send signals for every single trade that I take. I average about 1 to 3 signals per day, and it's a really cool experience, honestly, because this is what I do full time every single day, right? So you can learn a thing or two by just kind of getting in there and being a fly on the wall if you'd like. So check that out in your own time. Rates are increasing next month. Recommend locking in your rates here in November. Now taking a look at the one-day chart for Mana, both moving averages don't matter. They're not really relevant at this point. What is important to understand is that we're still stuck under 70 on the RSI. Normally I'd say that's not a problem, and I'm not saying it's a problem now, but it is something to note in the sense that when you have a price that's stuck under the RSI, it's working as a resistance level, right? So this level 70 on the RSI is effectively the same level here on the chart at right about $3.46. So 346, or you could round up, say 347. You can tell that it's been trying for 4 days straight to break that plane. It hasn't yet, right? So until the one-day candlestick closes above $3.46, I am not bullish on Mana, if that makes any sense, right? Now, again, it could just turn around tomorrow, ramp right back up, because that's how these coins do. They recover quickly. But on the same accord, you got to understand that Bitcoin just took a hit, and so did Mana as well, right? It's definitely in a position where it's not phenomenal. So if you look at this back here, just really quick to note, this is where the first major Bitcoin correction was recently on the 10th, right? That's Evergrande. And then here today, we also see a major correction with a large wick down. So for lack of better terms, Mana does okay. It recovers from there. As you can see, 2 days later, it came right back up. But you got to understand too right now that we're working against a resistance level, and that's essentially holding the price action down still. Okay, so not terrible, not great. It's just kind of in an in-between state, which is where Bitcoin's at right now anyway, so it makes perfect sense. So taking a look here at the 4-hour chart, though, here's some positive, right? We got the price above the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart. This is notoriously a strong support level. We've also got the 200 working its way up at about 191. The next few days, it'll probably be closer to the lowest support range of 246. So we're in good shape there as well. And big picture here too, keep this in mind, the price has not gone lower than 246 since it's increased past that point, right? And that's roughly the lower quadrant there, but generally speaking, it's not going to go any lower than that, right? So as long as we see Bitcoin staying above 58,000, I think we're going to be in good shape to have that support level hold. And again, I have to throw that out there because Bitcoin decides to tank to 53,000 tomorrow or the day after, none of this is going to matter, right? This is all contingent on Bitcoin's success, or at least Bitcoin going sideways and not screwing us over and shooting down an extra 10 to 15% more, right? I don't think that'll happen today, I think the bleeding has stopped for a moment, but I do think we might see another correction soon. That being said, just set some alerts on Bitcoin, for example. I have alert at 60,000, at 59,000, and 58,000 to give me perspective so I can jump right on the charts, take a quick look, make sure I can reanalyze things so I can tell my community members what's going on. Because thankfully I was able to identify this was going to happen before it did happen yesterday. I caught it right around 64,500. And it was cool. We were actually able to cancel all of our positions and save a decent amount of profit because we would have got stopped out on our stop losses. So bottom line, sometimes having somebody like this or a situation like this is helpful. So again, check out my Patreon community. But bottom line here is what I'm getting at is that Mana is in good shape for now. It could definitely be worse, right? You could see how much worse it could have got. We've seen a nice recovery here in the last 2 hours. So let's focus on the 1 hour chart. Let's see what's going on. Looking at the Ishimoku cloud, we're still under the cloud. So this is, again, not a great quality. It's not bad. It's par for the course considering the circumstances, but that will effectively work as a resistance level. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see the price slowly progress downwards from here, just based on the fact that this is kind of that knee-jerk reaction that occurs when Bitcoin hits its bottom, right? And I use bunny ears for bottom because, yes, the last 12 hours it's kind of stayed around 60, 61,000. But that's giving people a little confidence, saying, "Oh, hey, maybe that's the bottom." That could be the case, right? And if so, great. Nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging. Feel free to add to your position because I still think Mana between $2.50 and $3 is a good price. I think that's a good value. But you got to be real with yourself in the sense that this little temporary bearish trend likely hasn't come to full fruition yet. And until it does, we ought to be cautious and be careful. And what we also need to acknowledge here is that we're making lower highs and lower lows, right? So these are all lower than the previous. So if this guy right here cannot surpass this guy or this guy, then we're going to be in bad shape. So for lack of better terms, we saw 70 on the RSI on the 1 day chart, right? Holding that resistance level right at about $3.47. So unless the price can break 347 and make higher highs, we're still considered bearish, okay? So that's still something to kind of note. It's unfortunate, but it is the way it is. It's not terrible. Just think about it this way. When prices go down, it's a better chance to get more value, right? Because just say you got in at 350 and you want to have a better dollar cost average. Put in some money now and it'll continue to lower that average, right? I know it's easier said than done, but make sure when you're dollar cost averaging, only use maybe small 10% positions. Like yesterday, for example, every time Bitcoin decreased by 500, I had a new buy order in every 500, new limit order every single time for an extra 10% of my total USDT, right? So again, everyone has their own little scenarios, but I was able to dollar cost average Bitcoin all the way from 64 down to actually as low as 58.9, if I'm not mistaken. It was just below just below the I caught that little candle wick there. Regardless, if you set these things up, you'll be in good shape. So it wouldn't be terrible to put a dollar cost average about put a buy position at 10% at 308, and then put another position down at like 280, and just put a few in place so that way it fills if it comes lower, which it very well could. Okay. All right. Anyways, enough rambling. Sorry, I tend to just kind of go off topic when it comes to best practice, and that's just kind of what I do. I'm designed to kind of teach and help you understand better ways of trading. So I apologize for that. Let's get back on track here. We're at a 3 on TD sequential. Nothing really to worry about. Standard stuff in that sense because we had this reset. So TD sequential isn't going to help us this much here on the smaller time frame. We can look at just say the 4 hour chart and see that we got down to a 6. We're still currently at a 6 rather. So we might actually see about 4 more hours worth of bearish tendencies, right? That's just something to note as well. So big picture, again, not in bad shape here with Mana. Let's go with a best case scenario because I know you all like to hear that and see that. Let's go ahead and go with, say Mana were to recover and just complete anomaly tomorrow, right? And we get like another 300% push. I would say 842 is the best case scenario. That's still the case for Mana, and it will be for some time in my personal opinion. I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. We have to make small baby steps, right? We need to get up above $3.47 on the 1 day candlestick specifically. That's big picture. That'll give us the higher highs and the higher lows in the 1 hour chart. And that would effectively give us a kind of more open range to break towards 375 and then 408s and then 452 and inevitably the all-time high of roughly $5. Okay, we can't do much at all. We can't forecast $8.50 until we break that all-time high. That's the most important thing, and we're a ways off from that, right? So all that being said, Mana's in good shape. It's just mostly bearish versus bullish. I wish I could say otherwise, but that's just kind of the state of the union for most coins right now. So we just kind of got to get on board with dollar cost averaging and effectively just writing this out, and just make sure that your stop losses are not very tight, because obviously Bitcoin is probably not done playing. And if it does, these little candlesticks that go down super low, those candle wicks, those effectively are what's going to be killing you on your stop losses. And that's why I closed our positions yesterday, because I knew that that would happen. And ultimately, we actually had a stop loss at like 280. And look at that. That candlestick came all the way down to 275. So that would have totally screwed us over. Glad we were able to catch that ahead of time. But bottom line, you never truly know what's going to happen. So pay attention to Bitcoin, become a Bitcoin master, and these altcoins become tremendously easier. It's just the standard, easiest way to understand it. Just study and learn Bitcoin and its behavior, and I confidently can tell you that these things become tremendously better. All right, so thanks again for joining me here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, be sure to join my Patreon community before the race increase next month, of course. I think I've already mentioned that. So thanks again for all your support. And to my current community members, I love you. Thank you very much for everything you've done for me. You've made my life greater. In fact, I'm able to have a better quality life because I get to engage in awesome experience and dialogue with you. So this is just truly beyond words. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you.